Welcome to an international flavour to LGU Monthly, the magazine show that brings you all the action from the ladies' amateur game in Great Britain and Ireland. Coming up, we bring you coverage of the girls' international matches from St Anne's Old Links. A young golfing star in the making at the British Girls Amateur Match Play. We head to the beautiful Prestwick Golf Club for the Ladies British Open Amateur Stroke Play Championship. And some of the game's top names celebrate 120 years of the LGU. But first we head to St Anne's Old Links. A tricky layout would await the competitors, where the host course was honoured to welcome the prestigious annual event.
It means a tremendous amount to be afforded the opportunity to actually host such a prestigious competition as this is tremendous for St Anne's Old Links Golf Club.
This event has seen many of the women's current top professionals in Great Britain and Ireland cut their teeth. It's an important stepping stone at the start of their golfing careers. The match play format sees the four countries play each other over 3 days to contend for the Stroyan Cup.
It's a great experience for a lot of them, and for a good few it's actually their first time ever playing in this, and it's great to see the enjoyment that they're getting out of it and the competitiveness from the whole thing.
It's a great atmosphere, it's a great place for them to come and learn, it's a great place for them to develop their golfing skills, and more importantly to see what the standard of golf is throughout Britain, not just in Wales.
It's amazing because this is my first home internationals and it's so good. It's been a real honour to play for England here.
I get sort of goosebumps on the tee when they say on the tee from Wales. It lets you know then you're doing your country proud, and that you can do yourself proud that you are representing your country.
On day one, England and Scotland both won their opening matches against Wales and Ireland respectively. The day two encounter could go a long way to decide the future of the trophy. It was Scotland that came out the stronger in the morning foursomes. In the opening match, Lauren White and Connie Jaffrey dominated the back nine against Gabriella Cowley and Sophie Lamb for a 2-1 win. In the second match, only 2 of the opening 10 holes were halved between Clara Young and Tara McTaggart of Scotland and Alice Hewson and Sophie Keach of England. It was the Scots who were handed the second point of the morning with a 3-1 win.
We played good. I mean, we made some really good putts when it mattered around the turn, and it's just good to get another point going into the afternoon singles.
In the third match, England had been 3 up with 4 to play, but Scotland pulled it back and won the 18th hole to make it a half match. Scotland would take the lead into the afternoon 2.5 points to a half. The quality of the golf not going unnoticed by one of Britain's top women's coaches.
I'm excited what I see. I see them becoming much more athletic, better equipped as individuals to play the game. They have a better array of shots, and I think in the next 5, 6, 7 years you're going to see a massive success coming through. You know, you've already seen it. You know, in the past 5 years, people that were here literally a year ago, 2 years ago, are going on and blossoming on the tour.
If the morning belonged to the Scots, the afternoon belonged to the English. Seeking their 6th title in a row, the pressure seemed to get to the English players in the morning. However, that was rectified in style in the singles.
Means a lot. It's a great atmosphere to be playing for England. I just love playing for England. Always ups your game a little bit.
It's a pretty amazing honour, to be honest. Yeah, no, I'm really happy about it. So, and hopefully there'll be a few more.
England took the opening 3 singles matches comfortably. Olivia winning gave England their 4th point and overall victory. And Sophie Lamb sealing a 5-1 singles win, Scotland's only point coming from Connie Jaffrey.
It was a fantastic result. If we could come out of this game with a half, I would have been delighted. We've actually won it, so I'm doubly delighted.
Disappointment for the Scottish girls on day 2. On day 3, Scotland still had a chance to take the title on matches won if they could beat Wales and Ireland could overcome England. Their morning foursomes would be shared at a point and a half each, but England would be pushed all the way by the Irish. Cowley and Lamb would take the opening match. In match 2, Annabelle Dimmick and Samantha Fuller really struggled on the opening 9 holes against Shannon Burke and Neem Ward. The English pair fought back over the closing holes, but despite a fantastic chip on the 18th from Samantha Fuller, the English pair would lose 1 up to the Irish. The final match would be halved as Keach and Hewson bravely fought back from 4 down with 4 to play. But in the afternoon singles, it was the Irish that rose to the challenge. Ireland's Olivia Mahaffey remained unbeaten in the singles with an impressive 6-4 win over regular GB&I team member Gabriella Cowley.
It's harder than it looks, and like putting in the wind isn't easy, and with the gusts we're getting, it's difficult.
Mary Doyle continued Ireland's dominance with a 4-3 victory over Annabelle Dimmick. The Irish were sinking the putts from everywhere. But it was Alice Hewson who would stop the rot and get England's first point, beating McSherry 4-2. Followed by Samantha Fuller playing some spectacular target golf to beat Shannon Burke 2-1. The final 2 matches both came down to the 18th. Olivia winning and Neem Ward only half 2 of the 18 holes, but it would be Ward who won the 17th and 18th to take the match 2 up. England had been lucky that Wales had defeated Scotland 5-4 as Ariana Coyle-Diaz went 1 better than Ward, winning the final 3 holes to hand Ireland victory in the match.
Fantastic finish. They were under pressure the whole way, and for Ariana to finish 3 down with 3 to go and get a half was just incredible. It's her last year at junior level as well, so I'm absolutely delighted that she went out in such a high. It's brilliant. The girls are delighted.
So England continuing to show their dominance in the girls' international matches, champions for the 6th year in a row.
You're watching LGU Monthly on Sky Sports.
Celebrating its 120th anniversary, there was no more fitting place for the 2013 Ricoh Women's British Open to take place than the home of golf. To commemorate its anniversary, the LGU took the opportunity to launch its own book, which celebrates the history of the women's amateur game.
I think the most interesting thing about the game is how it's spread all over the world. I mean, when the first ladies' championship, it was an amateur championship, was held here in 1893, that was a British Ladies Amateur Championship, and it would have been mostly players from the UK. And now you've seen what we've got this week, which is players from all over the world.
Do you know, I often think about that, to be honest, about why, how women even started playing golf 120 years ago, to be honest with you. Because if you think about it, it was all long skirts and, it wasn't very, you had to get round all that, and it couldn't have been very easy getting into bunkers and out of bunkers and going through all those things. And I mean, they were trendsetters, really. They were going against the grain. And for them to go out of the box and to go ahead and do that, and for an organisation like the LGU to set themselves up to be forefront in women's golf, I think that was very huge.
I think at the LGU we're very proud of our status in world golf. We are perceived as the voice of women's golf. I think by most of the golf organisations round about. I think there are challenges to that as well. We need to be seen by the ordinary golfer to be the voice of women's golf and to enhance our advocacy role, and I think that will be the challenge for us going ahead. But in terms of our pride in leading, I think, from the front in women's golf.
Aside from the Ricoh British Women's Open, the LGU's most famous event is the Curtis Cup, a bi-annual tournament which sees Great Britain and Ireland take on the United States. The event is just one of many ways the LGU helps the professionals of tomorrow.
The experience I've had in the past 3 years with the LGU has just been fantastic, and that's helped me, my golf game of course, and my confidence has just grown each year, and being in my rookie year it's just fell right into place, and it's been really nice to just settle in on the LET and feel right at home.
I really enjoyed the Curtis Cup last year. The way it was run, was absolutely brilliant, and all the other girls certainly enjoyed the event as much as I did. And without the LGU, things like that wouldn't really be able to happen. So for me, they're a massive part of women's golf in the UK, and I certainly hope that they continue to work in the way that they do.
After the break, we head to Fairhaven for the girls' amateur match play. And who would take the title at the Ladies British Open Amateur Stroke Play Championship? Fairhaven Golf Club is no stranger to welcoming the LGU, hosting the Astor Trophy in 2011. 144 players from around the world would gather for the British girls' amateur match play. After 2 rounds of stroke play, the top 64 were faced with 6 rounds of match play in one of the world's leading junior ladies events.
For me, it's such an honor to come. It's a privilege also to play such a beautiful course like this, and to play against very good girls from around the world.
Even though I'm not so old, it's nice to see that I'm not so far from the other girls from the other countries.
It's fun to play tournaments with against a strong field, because you really get to challenge yourself, and play in the UK is different than the rest of Europe because of the conditions and the links golf and everything, so it's fun.
Scandinavia was strongly represented at the quarter-final stages. 15-year-old Michaela Finn would go 5 up after 6 holes against Clara Aveling of Belgium. She would book her place in the semi-finals with a 3-2 win. Roberta Litti of Italy is seen as one of the bright stars of junior European golf. In her match against Denmark's Marlene Hansen, she was 1 down with 2 holes to play. Her birdie at 17 seemed to draw the match back to all square, but Hansen's response was every bit as good. The pressure did seem to get to Hansen as Litti won 18 to force the match into extra holes. Hansen had to chip in at the first to save par and half the hole. But as the rain ensued, it was Litti who eventually ran out as the winner at the 4th extra hole. Denmark would be represented in the semi-finals by Puck Lynn Thomsen, a 6-4 winner over Finja Schmal. The other semi-finalist would be the Chinese sensation Ying Yan. There were beautiful sunny conditions for the final day, which would witness some of the best golf we'd seen all week. In the first of the semi-finals, Michaela Finn was having to work hard against an inspired Roberta Litti. But it would be the Italian who would win the only hole on the front 9. On the back 9 she went up a gear, turning on the style, eventually booking her place in the final with a 4-2 win.
It was great. It's a dream comes true, and it's really great to play great these days, and I'm really happy to be here, and I will do my best this afternoon. and let's see what will happen.
The other semi-final was a different affair as the match ebbed and flowed. Thompson found herself one down after 11 holes, but would win the 13th and 14th to go one up. A sublime chip by Yin Yang on 16 would level the match. But after a mistake on 18 by Thompson, she would progress to the final, winning one up.
I didn't do so well last year. So this year I really wanted to improve my game and see how I rank against all these great players. So it really means a lot to get into the final.
So it was Italy versus China for the 2013 title. Both players had strong support, especially the Italian. It was Jan that took the match to Litty, as she was 2 up after 10 holes. That was increased to 3 up after a wayward drive on 11. But in 15, Litty began to show her class. Another wayward drive would mean she would have to chip out sideways, but her third shot in the par 5 was the shot of the week to see her win the hole. At the 16th, the deficit would be down to 1. But Jan held her nerve over the closing 2 holes to become the 2013 champion. Her name joins the likes of Pettersson, Munoz and Nordqvist onto an already impressive roll of honour.
This is a really great event, and I think that to win this after all the work that I did, it's just amazing.
Hi, I'm Bronte Law and you're watching LGU Monthly on Sky Sports.
The Ladies' British Open Amateur Stroke Play Championship is the one they all want to win. Arguably the strongest field ever to have been assembled, gathered at the prestigious Prestwick Golf Club for the 2013 championship.
It's the first British event that the ladies have had here at Prestwick. I think we're really breaking new ground coming here. Fantastic historic links that when you stand in the first tee here, you feel the hairs in the back of your neck really standing up when you think of everything that's going on before here. The field's very strong this year. There's about 100 players. The event counts for world ranking points and for LGU Order of Merit points, and since both of them are used for LGU selection purposes, the girls who are playing here today are really trying to get themselves up these tables to qualify for Curtis Cup next year.
The stars of the match play from the previous week would again go head-to-head, with Yin Yang looking for a second victory in as many weeks. This 17-year-old has high aspirations in the game.
Jim starting play golf from 3 and 4, and I believe at 9 years old, she told me want to become the, LPGA player. So we just try, help her, the dream become true. This is what we want to do. We help her do everything.
Roberta Litty had opening rounds of 72 and 70, but a third round 77 would all but put pay to her chances. Scot Gemma Dryborough produced a 69 in round 3 to see her lead the way at 9 under par going into the final round.
A really great round today, no bogeys, so bogey free is always good. Let a few birdie chances that I didn't quite make, so it was definitely chances out there as well that I missed, but definitely solid today, and hopefully I can keep it going into the last round, and hopefully just keep doing the same things. I drove it well today and putted well as well, so hopefully keep it going.
Ominously, she would be joined by Yin Yang, whose 68, 72 and 73 would also see her at the top of the leaderboard. With 1 round to go, it looked to be between Dryborough and Yan, with a 5-shot cushion over 3 players, which included the 2012 champion Sarah Jane Boyd. Roberta Litti came out inspired in round 4, with a 68 to see her finish at 9 under par. Dryborough and Yan went toe-to-toe. With the final 2 rounds played in one day, there was no redraw for the afternoon pairings. As Dryborough reached the 18th, she trailed Yan by 1 shot. Her approach to the final hole would hit the pin and see her finish with a regulation par and a final round of 71. Coming up the last, Yin Yan held a 1-shot lead. A sublime approach would help her birdie the 18th, giving her a 2-shot victory and her 2nd British amateur title in only 2 weeks. So is Yan with a 2-stroke victory over Gemma Dryborough, with Roberta Litti in 3rd, and a strong GB&I contingent some way back.
I'm really happy that I won, but I guess this week has just been wonderful, and I think that all of the experiences that I've gathered will really help me a lot. And also, Gemma put up a really good fight, and I find that it really helps raise the game entirely.
So that's it for this month. Congratulations to the winners. Remember, you can catch up on all the news and information on the women's amateur game at lgu.org. What a memorable month for Yin Yan.